Hello, everyone. This morning we will talk about staged assignments in course design and development. My name is Tian Hongshi. I'm an instructional designer at OSU eCampus. I started working here in August 2014. Overall, I have been working as an instructional designer for the past 9 years. Okay, let's begin. Why staged assignments? Staged assignments help students to build high-level cognitive skills such as creativity, evaluation, critical thinking, analytical writing, application, problem solving, communication, and collaboration skills. That's why we highly recommend that instructors will consider using staged assignments when doing course design. And there are different forms of staged assignments. Here's a simple example of a simple staged assignment we used in Writing 214, Writing in Business. And the instructor asked the student to write a draft of a resume, and then the student submit the draft. The instructor provide feedback. The student get feedback in discussion from other students in the class. And then based on the feedbacks the student get, they added their draft, and then they work on it and resubmit it. And depending on the process, it can be just one-time revision, or if you think the student are not quite there yet, you can do multiple runs of revision, and then you will have a final submission. So that's an example of a simple staged assignment. Next, we'll see example of a more complex the individual staged assignment. Here's an example in a IE 599 course. It's a final project for this course. The instructor asked the student to identify a local business manager in charge of information system of their company or their private business. So during week 1, week 2, week 3, the student will look for whom they want to interview, and they'll submit, they'll make initial contact to get approval of the interviewee, and then they will ask the interviewee to email the instructor, let the instructor know, yes, I agree to be interviewed for this project to help the student. And that's the first step. And the second step, the student will draft out, will think about questions they want to ask. And the instructor also give the student a few must included questions, but the student can add more to the list. So once the questions are approved by the instructors and they share the questions in the discussion board, that's stage 2. And in stage 3, the student will make appointments, schedule appointments to interview the interviewee. It can be just interview with notes on paper, or it can be audio recorded, or it can be video recorded. It all depends on the possibility and the conditions, or the requirements. Any interviewee would post onto this interview project. So that's stage 3. So the last stage, the student, not the last, but next. The students will come back and write the report on the interview process and answer the questions that the instructor had listed and identified. And they will submit that. And if the interviewee allow the student to share the interview with the whole class, then they will open up in the discussion forum and share with the whole class. Then the student can have a final reflection on the whole process and think what is truly the biggest challenge or the main responsibilities of a person managing information systems in a real job, in a real company. So that's an example. Mainly it's individual work, but it has multiple stages. And now let's look at a more complex the team-based staged assignments. In this example, in BA 101, the final team project, it's for each team to work on the idea, the greatest new business. So first of all, the student will identify and get to know each other in the group, and they will brainstorm on the idea for their possible greatest new business and why they choose that business. That's stage 1. And in stage 2, the student will, with corresponding the learnings in the weeks, they will identify the different elements of a new business. So, and the next 2 weeks, they'll work on the other elements of new business to make the business successful. And it goes on and on. By the middle of the term, then the student will have an initial first stage draft submitted as a group, and the instructor will provide feedback, and another team will be assigned to, they will match up with a different team to provide a peer feedback as well. And then the student move on, they work on adding more components to the business. At the very last 2 weeks, the student will be finalizing their project, receiving feedback from the instructor, from their peer team. And in the final week, they will just submit and make a presentation as a team using online presentation tools. So somebody, it can be a team effort, or they can identify one person to do the presentation, but they have to introduce what each person's role in that team project is. So overall, that is a team project, and it involves multiple stages, but it's all doable in an online course. And so far, all these projects we've mentioned that they are completed within an 11-week term. But there are some projects that might extend beyond a 11-week term scope. For example, if you assign the student to collaboratively write a book or write a few chapters for a book, then it may take longer than an 11-week term. Or if you ask the student to build a web resource like a website, a e-portfolio, or a tool, application tool, those projects will not be completed at the end of the term, but that's okay. There are different ways to deal with it. You can continue working on the project, and the final project will be the product that the student value that they can use in the future. They will not be counted as a credit or as something, but it's something presentable. It's a useful, applicable product they can demonstrate. Or you can, if possible, in the curriculum design for your program, you can design 2 courses. The level 1 course will be doing part of the project, and the level 2 course will be doing the continuing part of the project. And if you have any question or any idea or examples of using staged assignments creatively, feel free to share with us and contact me. Thank you.